Hello, everyone. All right. Let's get started. My name is Oz Konar. I'm the founder of Business Lending Blueprint. This is the third phone live that I'm doing through YouTube, trying to do one every single week. I see that a bunch of you are already here. Before we get started, can you use the chat to give me a thumbs up if you can see me and hear me okay? Meanwhile, I'm going to scan through this. All right. So let's see what's going on. What's up, Charles? David Besson, Stephen White, T.S. Allen. All right. Victor, what's up? Michael Licks, I believe. James, I can hear you. Thank you. Okay, cool. Let's get started, guys. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm the founder of a company called Business Lending Blueprint, and we are a training and lending organization that help people become business loan brokers, either by sending their leads over to us or becoming a full-fledged loan broker, learning the entire process from 0 to 100 and learn the entire funding options, different funding options, close to a dozen or 13, I think at this point, different funding options from startup to business funding, lines of credit, real estate investing, and things like that. So I'm doing these calls to help you guys understand the business model and answer your questions. So this is not a monologue, hopefully. So use the chat to ask your questions about the business model, the loan brokerage, how it works, and how do you do it on your own? How do you do it through us? So I'm open, just like ask me anything type of platform. I'll try to answer as much as possible. So I'm going to be here for about 30 minutes. So looking forward to meet as many of you guys as possible. So the first thing is in the chat. If you can let me know what it is that you currently do and what you're trying to accomplish, that would help me tremendously so I can get to see who is on the call. Toto Monday, what email Stella application to a client that will lock me in as a broker record? I'm not sure if I understand the question, Toto. If you can rephrase it, that would be great. Ron, how's it going, everyone? It's good to see you. Great to have you here, man. Thanks so much. There's a couple of seconds of delay usually, but yeah. So if you can type in the chat to let me know who you are, so I can kind of cater our discussion based on what you're trying to accomplish. So James says he's retired. We have Nick says real estate. Great. We have a lot of real estate agents, real estate brokers, mortgage people in our community because this is such a natural parallel product to get into that is not really affected by the ups and downs of the real estate based on interest rate, what the Fed does, and all that stuff, because we're dealing with individuals and also businesses who need funding regardless of the condition, right? When the economy is good, they will need funding to expand and grow. When the economy is bad, they will need funding to, make the payroll, take advantage of investment opportunities and things like that. So that's the part that makes it a recession-proof industry for us. Victor says, I did mortgage residential loans for years. Now I wanted a business loan. That's awesome. You come to the right place. Like I said, we have many people from everyday jobs, obviously, every walks of lives. But we also have people from the mortgage industry, the insurance industry, sales industry. We have single moms who come through our platform because this is also something that you can do from home. A good chunk of our successful members work from home. They don't really have a physical office. This is one of those industries that is lucrative, but you don't needing employees usually around 40 to 50K per month mark, which is obviously awesome if you're at that level, and if you're pocketing 30 to 50K, that means you have money to invest into an employee. It could be a virtual assistant. Within our platform, we provide help in identifying and training virtual assistants, and we do the placement service as well. Tom Douglas, hello Oz, this is Tom Douglas MD. I'm anxious to get started right away. I have 3 potential clients ready to sign up, wanting to learn everything. That's awesome, Tom. So yeah, especially what kind of clients do you have? Can you tell me more about it? CJLN, semi-retired finance, former CPA, mortgage lender, telemarketing sales. Wow, you have the full stack. That's awesome. So yeah, we have accountants, CPAs in our network too. What we tell our members, CJ, is that you can do this business in a couple of different ways. So if you can talk about lead generation a little bit, you can target businesses who deal with businesses all the time. And obviously, being a CPA, you're doing taxes. So whether you do personal taxes or business taxes doesn't really matter because the people whose personal taxes you do, a lot of them are candidate for starting new businesses and they need startup funding. And if you're doing business taxes, well, obviously a lot changes in a small business and a day to day, they will need funding. So we tell our members that, hey, obviously it's great to focus on people who need funding immediately, but it's a far better and safer strategy to build referral partnerships from like business bankers, bank managers, bank tellers, accountants, financial advisors, mortgage people, whoever is working with other businesses and individuals. They're entrepreneurial is a great referral sources. When I started out, I didn't really have any money or budget for like running paid ads, and I didn't even know how to do it honestly. So my go-to option was to build strategic relationships with bank managers. I know it might sound counterintuitive at first because someone might say, well, are we competing with them? Absolutely not, right? So that's why we're in the alternative lending industry. As the name suggests, it is alternative to traditional lending. Most banks will need to will are forced to turn down their customers. The approval rates on a traditional loan is like 10 to 15%. So over 85% of the loans are being turned down by traditional banks. And guess who gets into trouble? The bank manager. The corporate doesn't really care. But if the bank manager has been nurturing those relationships with the local small businesses in that geographic region, and the small business needs like 40, 50, 60K, and they can't provide it, that's a major problem. And when I kind of woke up to that strategy, I spent a lot of time building those relationships. It's gone to a point of like having about a dozen different bank managers call me when they're in front of a business, right? Because I'm not hurting their relationship. I'm helping them save their customer, and it's not taken away from their corporate obligations. If someone is qualified for a business loan, they should get it. The problem is they're not. I mean, if it was easy to get business loans from banks, I mean, there would be no need for alternative lending industry. And the other great opportunity that I created for myself was working with accountants because accountants deal with customers all the time, and there are really large accounting firms that they primarily focus on businesses. So when you create a referral network for yourself, just your phone keeps ringing, and that's what happened to me in less than a year. I had so many relationships that I had no reason to market. I didn't even have a website, no more marketing collateral, just people calling me, knowing that I'm going to do the right thing and help their customer. And back then, we didn't even have all the funding options that we have right now, right? So we have funding options for most scenarios. Like I said, from personal term loan to 0% financing, startup funding, to merchant cash advance, to business term loans, business lines of credit, real estate investment funding, like if it is a multifamily, commercial investment, gap funding, things like that. I can go on invoice factoring, credit card processing. So we try to create a platform where when you bring customers and leads and you're trying to make money from this business, you have a waterfall of options, right? And you know exactly where to take them. That's super important. Um, FX Trader is asking, what would be the minimal amount you have to invest in order to start the business? FX Trader, if you're starting on your own, I would say a couple of $1,000s. I mean, you can start with zero, but let's say you're starting on your own, you'll need a website, you need a social media account set up, and whatever method you're using for lead generation. If you're using email marketing, you need a domain for that, and you need to start building relationships with the lenders. That's the biggest bottleneck in this industry when you're starting out on your own. If you're starting out with us, we have different options. We have like a refer and earn option. So if you just have leads ready to go and you really have no interest in becoming a business loan broker, you just want to refer leads to us, we have a school group. Currently, I think as of today, it's like $17 a month. But if you want to become a business loan broker and join the BLB family, we've trained more than 4,000 ordinary people to become successful business loan brokers. And that the investment for that is a couple of $1,000s, depends on obviously the payment plan and all that stuff. But we take care of everything for you, meaning that we give you a portal to submit leads. You have the lender network. We give you your website. We give you your CRM. We give you your marketing collateral. You join on live calls on a weekly basis. We run 4 to 5 different live calls, and these are lender-driven calls, meaning that when we do the calls, it is the actual funding partner who's on the call training. We have a massive community. We just did our own live event. We had like 70 people on a live event in Houston. So there are a lot of advantages. Again, I'm not trying to sell you to join, make your own decision. You basically have 3 options. You can do this on your own, or you can join our school community, or you can join BLB, do it. So yeah, that's usually, I mean, you can technically start with no money at all, but you need to have the relationships in place and you need to know like where to place the deals. I think that's one of the biggest areas. So yeah, everyone tells me that I know people who need funding, but they lack the information on what funding option would be a good fit for them, right? So that's like super important. And without closing that knowledge gap and ability to have the back end of the lender network, which we have, because our community drives millions of dollars of funding. So any lender out there would be silly not to work with us. That's why we have our own safe lending network. And we also do funding on our own as well. So those are your options when it comes to getting started in this business. Once you get started, it's not a complicated business. We're money brokers basically. We're the middleman. So there are lenders who want to lend their money to make an interest on their money, and there are borrowers, people who want to get access to capital. You're the middle guy or the girl, right? So you're making money by connecting the dots. You can call it, money matchmaker, I call it sometimes, or starting a lending business without having to lend your own money. That's another important thing. So when think of lending, yeah, you can lend your own money if you do have the money, but you need to have a lot of money to lend to millions of businesses, because in the U.S. there's more than 34 million small businesses and 1,700 new LLCs are being formed on average every single day. So it's a massive, massive opportunity when it comes to funding. That's why it's like a lot more lucrative, in my opinion, than most industries out there, because you don't need an intermediate product to sell, right? So you're not buying inventory and hopefully you're selling it to someone and you're making a profit margin out of that. This is actually selling money. That's why it's, when you tap into understanding who it is a good fit for, you can fund over 200 different industries. Like anyone who worked in the banking industry would tell you that they have like massive restrictions on who you can fund and who you cannot fund, and the funding box. And yeah, we took care of all of that, right? So you can fund almost any industry. There are a couple of rare ones that we cannot fund. And then we have products. That doesn't mean everyone's going to get funding, obviously. So we want to protect the lenders and you, because you want to get paid when the deal goes through. That's why it's a very little known industry. A lot of you might not have known the industry before you join on this call, or if you're on our email list, maybe you didn't know those deals, right? So if someone wants to start an Amazon business, instead of starting another one, you can help them get access to funding and make money that way. Ron says, can we target homeowners that need a capital for renovation, swimming pool? Yeah, so if they're getting personal funding, like a term loan, like personal term loan or 0% interest, they can pretty much do whatever they want with that money. You can certainly target that. But it is, for example, on a startup funding option, it's far better to target people who want to start a business, because at the end of the day, we want them to create some value in the marketplace so they can pay it back, right? Because it's 0% interest for a introductory period, but then they will need to do something with that so they can pay it back. So it's far easier and better to focus on businesses or people who are starting a business. Charlie says, when will you be back in Houston and how do we get invited to the event? Our events are only for BLB members, Charlie. So we don't do events for outsiders. So our next event will be in April in Houston again. So if you're in BLB, you'll find out about attending the event. But we don't do non-BLB events, and it becomes like a big family get together. Honestly, we have a lot of fun. We did the first 2 days in a conference room. Well, actually, the first day was like a cocktail hour. It was a lot of games and golfing and all that stuff. The second day was like a full-on training. We brought the lenders. We had 6, 7 lenders. They did their own training and Q&As. And the third day was an Airbnb. We just wanted to have fun. We catered a lot of food, and that's where we talked about lead generation through AI. How do you automate lead generation, and having people walk out with a 90-day success plan. Hey, Kathy. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining. So let's see if I missed anything. Does this make sense so far, guys? Any confusion here on how the business works and the potential with that? I see we have a bunch of people. That's awesome. So FX Trader says, thank you. Oh, I missed this. Hi, I'm running a lending business here in Fiji. I want to learn more regarding a business model that can be introduced to my country. Yeah, so definitely we do have different lending. I don't know what kind of lending you do there, but this is alternative lending. So it is non-collateralized for the most part. That means that, you know, they don't need to show their company car, or personal assets or things like that, or business assets. It is revenue based or sometimes credit based. And even if there's somebody's credit is pretty bad, we do have other options as well. If you're currently not offering any of those funding options, yeah, I'm sure you're leaving a lot of money on the table. I would like to learn how to work through your company, as I would prefer not to have to deal with the clients directly. Yeah, James, that's a lot of people. Some people actually want to be the business loan broker. Others just want to take advantage of this massive money making opportunity, right? So they just want to refer people, and we have the entire back end. So we have closers, we have underwriters. They, you know, talk to your lead, and you have a portal where you can track everything. You can even communicate directly with the underwriter to get the status update. So it's like very transparent, and then we do the work, and you can just focus on referring people and then making money that way. But we have others who want to become full-time business loan brokers, because just so you know, like the potential, like average earnings per deal can be $2,000 to $5,000. As you can imagine, that's very lucrative. Obviously, you know, I'm not guaranteeing anyone will make that money. But you can go through our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of actual video testimonials that I recorded with our actual customers. If you want to see the case studies, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so you can get to see that. But you know, everybody's different. It requires you to put effort into it. It's not a get rich quick scheme, obviously. Not that any one of you is looking for that. Just want to put that disclaimer out there, because whenever I utter numbers, you know, some people might say, "Oh, it's like too high. Is that real or not?" Yeah, we're in a lucrative industry, right? If you go through our case studies and success stories, some deals pay little, but you know, unlike other businesses, the upside was like incredible. Like we see people funding deals and making 20, 30, $40,000 commission on a single deal. Is that an everyday deal? No, but if you stay in the game and learn, you build those relationships, you come across larger deals, you stack deals. There's just a whole universe that's behind the scenes that we cover that obviously wouldn't be able to discuss on YouTube. It would take days and hours. All right, let's see if I missed anything else. I can't hear you. That's perfectly fine. I assume then same would apply regarding businesses in Philippines. Note, I do spend approximately 6 months there. Philippines, no, this is only in the US and Canada. We don't do funding in Philippines. You can be in Philippines. We have people who live all over the world basically, but you will be targeting businesses in the United States. So most of all of our funding options are available in the US. A few of them are available in Canada. So we don't really know the lending options and you know, Philippines and other countries because and our lenders fund in the US. James says, so can I do this living outside of US? Absolutely. Yeah, we have we have people in Germany, we have people in Philippines, we have people in Russia, Ukraine, Canada, South America. Doesn't really matter where you live, but it is like as long as you're targeting businesses in the United States, that's what matters. Victor says, yes, so far so good. James says it's great. Perfect. All right, guys, we're 20 minutes into this. Any specific questions? I see a lot more people than I see the questions about. Yeah, that's what I figured. Thought I heard differently regarding Fiji. No, that doesn't matter. Yeah, just any U.S. business or Canadian business, you can take it through our funding options, so they can they can go through the process on your behalf. So when you, sorry guys, I think I got disconnected. I changed my internet connection. Yes, James. Perfect. Cool, guys. If no other questions, we'll wrap it up. We're over 20 minutes right now. Again, quickly wanted to hop in and answer your questions for you guys to check out the opportunity, the business, how it works, why it is. Honestly, obviously, I'm biased, but it is one of the best opportunities. I funded my first deal and I made $4,000. Then it kind of opened up the path to learn how to get more customers because I just didn't know. It was cold calling, it was door to door sales back then, and I used to work for a corporate. And in just one transaction, I made more money than I made the entire month, and that made it lucrative for me. Then I didn't know anything, meaning that I didn't know any lenders. It was just referring someone. But I'm the type of person who wanted to learn the entire process. Then I learned the process, and we started working with the lending companies. Then I started slowly teaching other people how to do this because think about this: there are about 15 to 20,000 business loan brokers in the U.S. And there, like I said, there are more than 34 million businesses. Compare that number to the insurance agents, real estate agents, mortgage broker. It's extremely competitive in other industries. And here, many people do not even know the funding options that we talk about. Like we have invoice factoring. If a company is collecting a lot of large checks, but they're getting paid on net 30, 60, so meaning that the cash is not available immediately, you can sell invoice factoring to them. Many businesses take credit cards. You can do credit card processing. So many funding options. But the beauty of this is we have a whole coaching department to coach you on this. If you're interested in checking out, like getting a demo of Business Lending Blueprint, you can go to businesslendingblueprint.com, and on the page you're going to see an option to schedule a call, and we're going to ask you a couple of questions to find out if it is a good fit. Then you can jump on the call and find out for yourself if this is a good fit or not. Any other questions before we wrap up, guys? Thank you. Cool. Thank you for joining, guys. Great to have you here. I'll see you on the next session, and we'll handle a different topic. So don't forget to comment below the video. Let me know what you want to hear about so I can focus our attention to a specific topic and cover it and help you guys decide if this is a path that you want to go. All right? Take care now.